My people, you that live in the flood area and those flood routes, please, our advice is that you find a way out. Go live somewhere else for now. Your things may perish, but it will be an end to everything if your life perishes. And nobody wants anybody to life to perish. And it's not even in your interest that after the flood, you will now be given some tokens, one packet of Milo and one tin of oil. That is not, and that will not be your lot. Please take heed and get cleared yourself of any danger zone as it relates to flood. Thank you. Yes, it is very good that you partake in the continuous voters registration that is going on. That is your power to make the difference come the next general election. INEC has opened the window, and before it closes, it is better you get yourselves involved, particularly those of you who will be getting into age bracket 18 and above from next year so as to partake. Those of you who have moved, changed your place or location, or those of you who have even lost their voter's card, or maybe there are one discrepancies or one mistake or the other in the voter's card that you have. Your name is not well spelled. Maybe your face is not fully captured or so as not to have issues with the, machine now that is capturing people, the capturing machine, so that when it's time for you to be captured, to be accredited, that's a BVAS, then you will be able to be captured and there won't be any issue. Then, of course, the second one is about those of you who live in the flood area. Please move away before the flood catches up with you. Flood no respect anybody, and I pray that will not be caught up in the flood. Now, let's go back to our business for the day. I have two great gentlemen sitting with me in the studio. From my far left, Mr. Paul Dada is the news editor, I guess. Deputy editor, PM News. And let me first welcome you.
Yeah, it's good
welcome,
to be here.
sir.
It's always good to be here.
Yeah, it's always great to host you, to be here, to be with you. And the next one is my brother Victor Aya. He's the man from the oil side, and his face is always looking oily. Don't worry, you go see the oil money. You do for a hurry, you go see oil money. You go tire you. Don't worry. God's time is the best. Don't worry, when you have it, you too, you go tire you. But be that as it may, my people. Again, on a more serious note, I'm a pastor, and the Bible tells me that there is time for everything. Everyone has his time. Don't use anybody or look at anybody's time for your own speed or time, because the race is for an appointed time. The race is not to the swift. Time and chance. Wait for your time. It will happen to you. That's what I know. And I'm talking from experience. So, I just want to use this because of what my brother from the creek just said, so that they will not go. You know, one of the things that happened during the military era when we were in the trenches, when the boys started their wahala, then the military guys will be saying, when the boys are asking for their what's it now, for their benefit, they will say they shouldn't worry, it is in the pipeline. Don't worry, it is in the pipeline. I guess one of these in their meeting, they say, oh boy, no be pipe day for front of say, and they say the thing where we want, it dey inside pipeline. Oh boy, make we go there. Make we go get her. And that's why they started. Anyway, now coming back, I will start with you, my brother Victor. The bar resolution in Enugu was that we are going to stand tall. We are going to stand out for the people. Do you see this coming up? Is the resolution, no?
Yes, the communities, broadcast, 7 of them, which are very germane and very interesting. But the way this country is today, I'm sure that they will find it difficult to achieve that, because in those days when we have the likes of Olisa Agbakoba as the president of Civil Liberties Organization, who was leading us to protest in those days, you know, and after his leadership, he was there from 1987 to 1995. Then Ayo Obe took over, you know. We just celebrated our 70th birthday recently. You know, if those people had made such statement, I would have been so impressed, because those were people that actually stood for the masses. But what we have today is that Nigeria is now a national cake that everyone wants to get his own chunk. So making that statement, I would say, is just a political statement, because why I say so is this. Right on time, for a very long time now, we don't see any lawyer coming out to question government.
No.
Days.
Let me just correct you. We are here questioning authority, if you don't know. Apart from that, there are so many of us. The Falanos, you can't take it away from Falano. You can't take it away from Agbakoba. They are still, Ozekume. You can't take it away from those two. They are still student voices, and there is the young guys too, Adeyan Jews and the Enebe. So they are there, and including people like me. But be that as it may, the issue is that I'll just refer you to the Bible in 2 Corinthians 5:17, which says, "Behold, if a man be in Christ." The lawyers now have all they have become born again. So as the Bible says, all things that you are saying and looking at are passed away. So because all things are become. What do you mean by how they're going to achieve? You don't worry. I'm happy, that's why I brought you. Because you are always like that in that other side. And we will surprise people like you who are pessimists that indeed it will not work. Let me tell you something. The work of the lawyer is to ensure that rules and regulations are obeyed, are carried out. Because this is what weaves the society, rules and regulation. If there is no law, there can be a society that is on. If there is no law, there will be anarchy and chaos everywhere. And if the lawyers now say, yes, we want society to come up upright, then definitely you can be sure that it's going. It is a resolution by the lawyers themselves, having analyzed the situation on ground. As you just made it, as you said some few seconds ago, that's what has been happening. You go to this place, they say you lawyers. You go to that place, they say you lawyers are the one who are the bane of this society. And we say, okay, having come up with this, arising from the Enugu conference, we are going to change the situation. We are going to change the story. And that is the point we are now. And for people like you, you can be sure that very, very soon you are in for a surprise, a big surprise, that indeed the legal profession is out to ensure that justice is not served only to the rich man, but equally to the poor.
Well, we are waiting.
No, Mr. Dada. You finish, don't worry. Let me pick. I will come back to you. Don't worry. You come back. Why Mr. Dada giggled at my last statement, let him bring it out, then I'll come back to you.
Honestly, it's very difficult to know what to think. Yeah. But you cannot just relax and say because the NDA had a conference and they came up with
the resolution.
They communicate with nice resolutions. That
it
means that sleep. Well, let's go sleep. All is over. You see, it's more than just having a communique and resolving.
Yes.
You know, I do not want to think that it was just a talk shop. That would be undermining the integrity of that. Those conferences are necessary to remind the practitioners of their responsibilities.
Yes.
But it remains to be seen whether you are going to have any significant corollary, positive corollary arising from that event. Because we know that, well, I'm not going to agree with anybody who says lawyers are the bane of the society. Mm-hmm. Lawyers are Nigerians, they are professionals. Just as you have so many bad eggs among lawyers, you have them among journalists, you have them among teachers, you have them among mechanics. Well, because lawyers are always in the eyes of the people, so it is more, people will definitely see the mistakes of lawyers. But again, the challenge is this: since lawyers are seen, all right, it's also behoves them to actually be people of integrity. People of integrity. Because people always say lawyers, you know, when we're growing up those days, and I think people still say lawyers are liars. You know, but that's not true.
But that's not true.
That's not necessarily true.
Yes.
But it's actually an impression that was created. So it's going to take more than an MBA conference. Because when we see we that are not, you call us, no matter how enlightened or educated we think we are, you think we are not learned. So we have accepted.
We
have accepted that we are not learned. You know, because again, an average a degree course in the university is just 4 years. And I mean, forget about Nigeria. 4 years can become 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But it's 4 years.
Yeah.
We know that lawyers spend 5 years in university and then there's another 1 year in law school. So we have agreed that you are learned, but we are enlightened. So sometimes when we see the behavior of certain lawyers, the things they do in the public, we wonder, are these people learned? We were in this country when a lawyer came up and said that he won the 2019 election. If you remember, Ambrose came up with frivolous applications against Buhari should be removed. And he did not stop. He went ahead and said Tinubu should be removed. Until the Supreme Court said, look, let me stop getting frivolous applications from this guy. And even I myself,
they descended on him.
Yeah, they fined him 5 million. Even I, not being a lawyer, I knew that was just touch. I've also seen lawyers, especially some lawyers who are in the eyes of the public, who are respected. Sometimes the public opinion they give, either they don't know the law,
they are playing to
or maybe they are just deliberately doing it. I'm going to give you an example, and I will not mention the name of the lawyer. I know, because I used to be a judiciary correspondent, you know, years back, before I became an editor. I know that when a court passes a judgment, all right, that is what it is. Of course, there are rules for appeal. Now, the issue of, and I know that the court does not deal with, the court is not moved by public opinion. The court is moved by facts. The court is not going to shop for heavy. I know all of this. I'm not a lawyer, but I know this. The court is not a fact-finding mission. You bring your evidence. Okay, I'm going to give an example. I don't know if this is going to offend the sentiments of some people, but it's not about what I think. It's about what the law says. The case of who killed Kudirat Abiola.
Yes.
Okay? The Lagos State High Court, Justice Dada, who shares my surname, you know, I was there when she gave the judgment, 8 hours or 3 or more, you know, and said these people are guilty. I was at the appeal court, the wise men of the appeal court, although they were women this time, but I call the wise men of the appeal court, who put the judgment of the High Court. And I listened to the arguments. And I listened to the presiding judge say, look, who killed Kudirat? That she was murdered is not in doubt. Is the murderer in this court. Now, the judge never said Al-Mustafa, Sergeant Rogers and Co. did not kill. The court only said that there is no evidence sufficiently linking them. In fact, the Lagos State government goofed, the prosecution goofed a lot, and she mentioned where the prosecution goofed. I thought that was sound. I thought that if you do not agree with that, you go to the Supreme Court. Then I saw a lawyer, a popular human rights activist. He came on TV to lampoon those. He was even misrepresenting the fact of the case. I was there. It was not a hearsay. I was there when the judgment was given at the Lagos State High Court. I was there when the judgment was given at the Court of Appeal. Now, because he's a popular lawyer, because he's a respected lawyer, what he should have done is to enlighten the people. You may not like it. I may not even like the judgment. I may not like it. I may have reservations. But I need to speak to the facts of the case, not bringing extraneous issues or saying that maybe because they have bribed the judges or things like that. How do you know they bribed the judges? How? Where's the evidence they bribed the judges? You can't be saying that.
Even as a legal practitioner.
As a legal practitioner, if it's saying things like that, it's wrong. So sometimes we see lawyers misbehave like that. You wonder, you are a disgrace to education.
Okay.
You are a disgrace to education. You are a disgrace to your name as a lawyer.
Okay.
But again, it's not exclusive to lawyers.
Yes.
There are lawyers, journalists who are a disgrace to their profession.
But the legal profession is on the spot, and of course we'll face that. I really appreciate this angle, and it's part of the things we discussed, and it's part of the resolution we brought about the conduct of our colleagues in the public, or even in the courts, and those of us who are in the public space, and particularly in this era of mass media and social media, where everyone just decide to say anything, put it and push it out, and of course some people will take it as it is. Be that as it may, please, I will come back to you immediately we are back on this short break. Just keep your gunpowder dry. That's what one judge told me in court. I was young, I was serious that I wanted to boil, but to deal with the other opponent. And he said, Mr. Ogwade, don't worry.
Yes, time for everything.
And indeed, I kept it dry, and I did not allow rain or water make it go down. So you too, don't let water or rain wet up. Just keep it there. We will soon be back. We want to go on a short break, and by the time we come back, then definitely I hope we'll be joined, and the team will be swelled up so as to have an enriched discussion and conversation. Don't go away. Meanwhile, those of you who are at home, you can call your friends who are on the move, that they can just go and get us through the Play Store, Google, Galaxy app, and of course, live on television, they hit it, and they will be watching us live and direct. And of course, we'll be sharing the conversation together. And when it comes, maybe when we start the second leg, those of us who want to send messages, please don't call. Messages, the text line where you send your messages will be displayed for you to send your text messages. Thank you. Yes, I'm now being joined by Chief Emeka Obegbelu. Now in title I won't remember. Chief Emeka Obegbelu is a senior advocate of Nigeria. He is the chairman of the Conference Planning Committee of the Annual General Conference of the Nigerian Bar Association 2025 that took place in Enugu. Kai, una go salute am for me if you come up. I enjoyed myself in Enugu. It was a great time. Then, obviously, he is equally the chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association Remuneration Committee to look at the remuneration of lawyers vis-a-vis the services lawyers provide. Because it is found out that lawyers are being shortchanged. Many people will go do a document somehow and bring it up, and of course, shortchange this lawyer and all. Chief, please, can he join us? My engineers, please. Yes, you're welcome, Chief.
Thank you.
Senior Leonard Silk, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you, sir? Yes, I guess you heard the intervention of our colleagues in the studio. If you heard them, maybe you can just react, of course, concerning we, the born-again lawyers, what our resolution after Enugu and so on, or the conference itself, your take on the way forward for us as BAR in standing out and standing tall for the people. Go ahead.
Thank you. Quite a attentive. Mr. Dada, I believe that was the editor who spoke last. And I understand clearly his perspective on the issues. It is clear for me that there is a reason why the originators of the legal profession from the United Kingdom set up a disciplinary committee. It is the realization that there is need to put checks and balances. And it is not for nothing that even across all jurisdictions, lawyers have been subjected to disciplinary proceedings, and in some cases disbarred because of infractions of the rules of professional conduct. So we are not alone in this. It's a fight that the bar continues to sustain, to keep raising the bar to ensure that lawyers comply with the ethical requirements of the legal profession, which we all know is very strict. So coming back to the annual conference we had in Enugu, I'm happy to tell us that it's a call for lawyers to raise the bar. It's a call to distinguish ourselves in all facets of our professional life, whether you're acting as a legal advisor, or you're acting as a litigator, an attorney for the defense, or in any aspect of your legal life, you're called upon by this conference to stand out and stand tall. So the message we came out with from the conference basically about 9 resolutions that deal with the areas we think that needs to be tinkered with to make for a better legal profession in Nigeria. And when we talk about legal profession, it's holistic, including the bar, the bench, and all who work in the administration of justice in Nigeria. Thank you, sir.
I raised it even privately. I really appreciate it. I've been going to conferences. To me, this is the best organized conference. And I've already prayed for you that you go far. God will expand your coast, because I've sampled the opinion of many conferees, and indeed, and I'm sure you were in the hall when you were given a standing ovation when your name was mentioned. Please keep it up. I'm not given to patronizing, but when someone does something good, and of course I'm doing it publicly to the whole world to know that indeed we had a swell time in Enugu, please keep it up. Let's quickly go. My brother, you have a question. You were alluding to something about our activities. I'm sure you had the chairman. If you have something, you quickly say it, because he is going to take it to he is one of the top guys there who will now bring it out. And of course, to me, the issue of discipline again is one of the things we said, that all those who are erring colleagues, definitely, if they go against it this time around, they will be disciplined. But be that as it may, your take.
The question I have for him is that why is it that there's so much quietude among lawyers these days as compared to during the military time? During the military time, almost every lawyer was an activist. But since the return to democracy, since 1999, there's so much quietude among lawyers. Why is this so?
Or you want to put or you want to add that what was it now, to Tinubu's time, because there was no quietude from the legal profession since the return of democracy. But let's leave that one. Chief Obegelu, Ladet Silk, you heard him, so that I don't take it from you. Please help me answer him.
No, just yesterday, the Lagos branch led a protest against the naval authorities over the declaration of a retired naval officer as a deserting soldier. So that issue has gone to the industrial court, and a court of competent jurisdiction made a declaration. And when the naval authorities took a different view, the Bar Association in Lagos, led by Madam Chair, took lawyers to the streets to protest that. You also recall the stand of the Nigerian Bar Association when the federal government declared a state of emergency in Rivers State. So there are so many activities that lawyers have spoken up against, whether as a Bar Association or indeed as activists who are advancing the cause of their clients. Maybe because there are too many of them and spread out throughout the country, there's not much media coverage. But I can assure you that as we speak, in Imo State, in Enugu State, in different states of the country, lawyers are standing out for their client and are standing tall. But the good news is that in every room in life, there is always a room for improvement. So I see your comment as a call for improvement, and it is well taken. We'll only continue to encourage our colleagues to stand out and stand tall, to stand out for human rights, to stand out for democracy, to stand out for the rule of law, and to stand out for good governance, because that is the call we have taken up as lawyers as the first bastion against bulwark and against any form of illegalities in the country.
And that's to you people whose rights are being trampled upon, who have been subject to some elements of injustice and oppression by the state. I want you to know that the law is not for those in authority, for the government alone. The law is there to protect you. And that's how and where you must ensure that you get in touch with any lawyer around you, any lawyer. And of course, if the person does not, just ask him, where is your branch, or where is your association's office? And I guess maybe through this program, Lanet Silk, maybe you will relate with this in this regard. I will have the list of all branch chairmen and particularly the vice chairmen who are heads of the various human rights desks, so that we'll be splashing it on this program. That's one of the things we'll be doing, so that anybody who has who's interested in infracted and so on, or who's oppressed, they can always call those numbers, and of course they will spring into action to save them. Of course, you know what happened about, is it not this Anambra thing about the coppers and so on, and so many all over. There are so many all over. Thank God for social media. And of course, I think we can we go that route, Mr. Lanet Silk? Can we go there? Can we have, maybe we have the numbers of all head of the vice chairman of various branches? If they are sent to me, then definitely I'll publish it on this platform. And of course, this program is all over the world, so that people will see it when they have infractions. And of course, they will get in touch with the various desks. And we will discuss that. If you can react. Can you hear me, Lanet Silk?
Happy to do that. The organization association, the first president is the chief of the Human Rights Institute of the Nigerian Bar Association, and part of his mandate is to lead the human rights arm of the Nigerian Bar Association. He coordinates the vice chairman of all the branches in Nigeria with a single sole purpose of the protection of human rights. So, by the nature of their mandate, their numbers and their contacts should be made public. I will give the contact of the first vice president to you, and I will urge him to give you the numbers of all the vice chairmen of branches with their contacts, so that you can make it public for the purpose of achieving their mandate under the NBA general mandate. So I think that is in order, and I will encourage them to release that to you.
I know I can count on you. Mr. Dada, you are a journalist, and one way or the other, you have experienced and observed and reported oppression, impunity. And this time around too, we want to count on your support. I will use you as a point, because there must be an end to impunity in this country, oppression in this country. Don't you think so?
Yes, there must be an end to oppression in this country.
And we need the press too. This is part of the press. What we are doing here is the press work.
Yes,
we can't do it alone. The bar cannot do it alone. We need the press.
Absolutely.
Are you ready to support us in this?
We have always been doing it.
Yes.
I know how much, for example, I fought the scourge of rape using
and domestic violence too.
Using the media. I recall that there was, I was a reporter then, and then there was this little girl that was defiled by 3 men, including, I think the oldest of them being in his 40s. And this went to the family court, and there was a way the case was turned around, and the little girl was going to be remanded. Can you imagine that?
It happened to me. I had an experience.
The little girl was going to. I went mad. You know. So I did not only use the media. You know, I did not only use to communicate with the other my colleagues in other media houses. I made sure that we got in touch, because then my younger brother is a lawyer. He's not in the country now, so he was trying to get the magistrate to behave well, but she wasn't listening. So he cried to us, and then I made sure that we got to the registry. In fact, the head of the magistracy there, I think, was also deputy registrar or something. In the long and short of everything is that he got that particular deputy, the deputy chief registrar, who was the head of magistracy, got that magistrate to rescind the order that same night, and that little girl was returned. Okay. The point is now, but let me just react a little bit to what he said when we talk about the military. Under the military, you see, then there was no, of course, rule of law was suspended. There was no democracy. Yes. The strategy may have changed a little bit. You understand? Because the military was frontally brutal. And those were very, very desperate times. Yes. Very, very desperate times. And no doubt lawyers led the way. Now, we have so many lawyers that also have political interest. And they are guided by.
Yes, they
but
are political.
The issue of human rights violation remains the same.
Yes.
So we can use several avenues. Yeah, protest is good. Going on the street is good. Social media is very, very powerful. We want to see lawyers unite and use social media to pressurize human rights violating institutions, individuals, authorities like the police, you know, to put pressure, to galvanize the people. You understand? When lawyers did it, we don't know the law as much as what we know about the law is what we hear from you, what we learn from you. For example, I want to write an article bordering on legal issues. Sometimes I have to call. I think I have to call you even number of times. What do you think about this?
Yes.
So we pick from lawyers.
Us, yes.
Yeah, and we also read.
Okay.
So we need lawyers to use all avenues now.
Okay.
Okay, we may not necessarily use the methods
Okay.
that were used under the military.
Okay.
Because now you can go to court. We are operating by the constitution.
Yeah.
You can go to, and all of that. So that's what I just think.
Okay then.
The fight continues.
Okay then. The fight continues. And you are going to join us. Let's go back to the trenches to ensure that human rights are protected and respected. And for your information, you all are people, and the Learned Silk will confirm this. During the season on human rights, particularly, all the security chiefs in this country, the DSS, military, police, army, they were all there in that international conference center. And God help and God bless the soul of Femi Falana and Mike Ozekume. They put these people on their toes. And of course, along the line, they started recanting, and we extracted promises from them that never again would they violate human rights again, because we made them to understand. Yes, we made them to understand that they are busy defending government officers rather than the people.
I wish they listen. I hope they.
Learned Silk, please, can you, my people do not want to believe me. Please, can you just bear me out? Learned Silk. And if you can expand on that more. The network is not, the audio is bad. Please, engineer, if you can pick his audio, just bring him up. We'll just keep quiet here. If you can bring, if the audio is good, keep trying. If the audio is good, I've not seen any test here from anybody, so maybe we'll leave that one. Mr. Anya, please. You heard what he said. You are an analyst, a political analyst, and you know, and you once in a while you're equally on the streets. I'm sure you've observed the abuses that we are talking about by state actors, as you call them, against the people on flimsy excuse. Let me give you an example. The other day, maybe some 2-3 weeks ago, some local government staff went to a corner of a place and started locking up shops that those people have not paid tenement rate and so on. They've not given them notices as the law required. And of course, my people phoned me. You know, we are working for the people now. They now phoned me. One of them said, don't worry, I have one lawyer. He now called me. I now said, hey, send me the video. Do the video of the thing. Thank God for technology. He did the video, and I was seeing them. And I said, you should put the thing on speaker. And I said, I am coming to meet you and your local government chairman. You have to give them notices. You are there on an illegal mission. Apart from that, that place, you just come to collect rates. You have not been, the presence of government is only known when you want to collect rates. There are no pipe bore water, there are no roads and all other things. My brother, immediately I dropped my call. Those guys speak crazy and disappeared. What is your own experience in this regard, sir?
Well, I don't have a personal experience, but they are very common. One of the programs we had the other time, I recounted how one of those women that used to sell abacha, who went out in the morning, and those local government people accosted her to pay about 500 naira. How
much will she gain?
She pleaded with them that she just came out that she had not sold anything, and they threw away what that she came out to sell. The question I raised them was that, as they threw away her wear, will they get that 500 naira that they were asking?
Gentlemen, my people, please, if you observe such a thing, people oppressing someone, look at it now, a poor woman. Maybe she's the one feeding for 2-3 children. How much abacha, how much will she gain or make? Please, it is your duty that you observe. By the grace of God, this time next week, we'll have the numbers, we'll spread here. You call one of these numbers. One way or the other, it will get to us on this platform, or particularly to me, and you will take it up. Please, we should stop all this impunity by government officers. They are to protect us. That's what the Constitution says by virtue of Section 12. The security and the welfare. They are supposed to protect the poor woman and provide for her welfare, not to oppress her. That's the law. And the law is not for them alone. It is for us. Paul Dada, I want to round up. Yeah. I'm coming. I hope the Lanez Silk, maybe his voice is on. If we can still have him, please bring him on. If his voice is on. If his voice is on, if he's talking. Lanez Silk, can we hear you, please?
I'm still here. I hope
yes, we are happy you are there. Go on, sir. Go on. You are
much. I was going to thank you for your kind words about the conference we held in Enugu, and to also say that we did not do any magic. What we did was to assemble a team of very committed barmen and women working with the local organizing by Ike Azo Akara, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, and the support of the Enugu state government to deliver the conference. Yes, we had a good conference, and I'm happy you mentioned the session on the human rights, where Professor Michael Zekome and Femi Falana took up the defense agencies that were there present. And it was a very interactive session and very engaging. That is part of who we are as lawyers, and what we try to do to keep our government always on their toes. And that's what Mr. Dada said about eternal vigilance being the price of freedom. We cannot afford to let up. We cannot afford to sleep. What we need to do, and we encourage the Human Rights Institute to continue doing, is to expand their engagement frontiers to cover every facet of human rights abuse. We work with different agencies like FIDA, like the Legal Aid Council, and other partner agencies to deliver this mandate. But of course, resources are an issue. Resources are limited, and we can only work with the resources available to the Nigerian Bar Association and other agencies. So it's work in progress. We'll continue to do our best. I cannot speak for the president, but I know that the president of Nigerian Bar Association, Mazi Afamosi Gwese, is committed to delivering on his mandate. He's a proactive leader who has engaged and continue to engage with all organizations to deliver his mandate as the president of NBA. So I think we are making progress. Much more progress needs to be made, and we are committed to driving the vision. On the remuneration order, this may be my last opportunity. We know the whole idea of the remuneration order that was passed into law sometime in 2023. Now, that order goes to the heart of the welfare of Nigerian lawyer. It goes to the professionalism of the legal profession, and it seeks to attract fair remuneration to lawyers. Ongoing presently is discussions around enforcement of that order. You will recall that the Nigerian Bar Association authorized or gave mandate to the branches to pass resolution during their monthly meeting on enforcement guidelines for those branches. We are collating the branch resolutions, after which we will commence community town hall meetings with stakeholders to review the branch resolutions and seek a national or statewide or regional consensus.
Again, by the grace of God, I'll bring you by the grace of God next time. Time is not on our side. By the grace of God, we'll pick your Lanez Silk at your convenience, so you have more time to engage Nigerians on this, because time, of course, you've done a great work in this regard. 2 minutes will not be enough. We'll bring you again so as to expatiate on this one more time. We want to really thank you. Again, I want to appreciate you, and on behalf of Nigerians, I like the word you use. You assembled dedicated hands, and that's the bane of Nigeria particularly. We were in Enugu and we saw the chairman, the governor. He brought out dedicated hands. We saw Enugu was moving. If anything at all, there's a road network, the IC, the International Conference Center and all. We pray that people like you will hold strategic positions in this country so as to ensure that the right peg is put in the right hole, so as to ensure that Nigeria moves on. Really, thank you, Learned Silk, for being part of this program. And for me, to you, Mr. Paul Dada, I want to appreciate you for coming. But before that, your parting shot. 2 seconds.
All right. I just wish that we can sufficiently educate the people
we'll come
about
again.
their rights.
We'll come again.
About their rights.
We'll come again. My problem is you. You don't have time for us. But I'll extract this from you.
Okay.
Next week, by the grace of God,
Yes,
can we be together?
Yes.
Mr. Anya, I know you will be around. So
No
this next time, Mr. Anya, thank you for coming. On that note, it has been a great time. We really want to appreciate the Learned Silk Chief Emeka Obegelu, the chairman, Conference Planning Committee of the Annual General Conference of Nigerian Bar Association. 2025, we had a swell time. And of course, the Remuneration Committee chairman, obviously he is coming next time to brief us on that, particularly those of you who like cheating lawyers. You know that the time of cheating lawyers is gone. The lawyers should be given their due share of the work they do. That is the essence of that Remuneration Committee. And I want to thank Mr. Paul Dada once more for coming, and I hope that next week you will not disappoint us. I pray that all those things that always disturb you will not show face next week. In Jesus' name,
Amen.
Amen. And to you, our people, you too, you will be well and alive to be part of this program.